computer. Yes.
Hi, welcome to Journeys to Mount Shasta. Thank you for tuning in with us today. Today, we are going to do something very, very special because we are going to connect the energy from Mount Shasta and Peru as well. And of course, by doing that, we need to bring some significant friends to join our podcast today, so they can be the channel, so the energy can come through. So before we start this podcast recording, I actually did a little meditation. Then I visualized that I saw the energy coming up from Mount Shasta back to the source of the universe, and also the energy from Peru, Machu Picchu, the energy shooting up back to the source of the universe, and then they merge in the source of the universe and then coming back down to cover the entire Mother Earth. So that was a vision that I was seeing when I prepared to do this podcasting recording. And so that's kind of activated, initiate the energy flow that we're going to do today. But before we introduce our special guest today, I'm going to do my usual, is that we're going to get the commercial out of the way first. So I'm currently working for Taku Ironware USA.com. And then this is a company that we call the new generation of cast iron, because we use a lost wax casting to do this, our pots and the kettles. So because of that, there are two significant differences compared with the traditional sand casting cast iron cookware or products. And the first one is that because of the technology, lost wax casting, we are able to make it thinner, which also means lighter weight. And another benefit of that is that the surface is much smoother. And so you got the advantage of a non-stick feature better than other cast iron products. And then along with the continuously doing the seasoning after you're using, then the non-stick feature will get better and better. So we have a physical location is located in Cupertino, California. This is the only location outside of Taiwan. So if you're interested to buy the high-end quality of a cast iron, look nowhere, because this is the one you want to find out the quality of the cast iron, that how good it can get. Okay, and then our company is based in Taiwan, and then we just opened up this Cupertino location almost 2 years now. So welcome to check us out on takuironwareusa.com, and then you can find out more information about us. So that's our commercial today. And then now I'm going to introduce our special guest, which they signify the two places that we are going to connect the energy today. The first one, of course, is our co-host, is Linda. Hi, Linda.
Hi there. Hi there. Thank you for having me again. This has been so fun.
Yes, very good, very good. I think we're becoming like a little bit addicted to doing this because we enjoy this so much.
Well, you know, the thing is about radio or Zoom, you can connect to more people and they can really feel who you are, because you do random things and people, you know, you're kind of at a deficit. But then when they feel the energy and the stuff, because you're so warm, that they get that sense. And also with your company, going back to your ad, it's a very substantial company. It's very professional. You're not just floating around saying these things. You're very grounded and direct. And that represents all of our interviews are very, not only insightful, but very powerful and grounded, which I think is important right now for people to feel that safety.
Yes, thank you so much, Linda. Okay, enough you and I talking.
Yeah.
Now we are going to introduce our very, very special guest, and then she is actually located in Peru, and and then she is working with Linda for the whatever their big project they're going to do. So that's our main topic today. So Jennifer, welcome on board.
Thank you so much. Hi, my name is Jennifer, and I'm currently living just above Cusco in a really beautiful archaeological area known as the Temple of the Moon. So I'm excited to be here and to thank you for the opportunity to discuss this with you and Linda.
Yes, thank you so much. Then, Jennifer, can you kind of talk about your experience with the Mount Shasta first, and then how you end up to Peru
Peru.
right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really perfect because it was in Mount Shasta. I moved there from the San Francisco Bay Area in 2013. And it was at that time where I almost immediately connected with Linda, and we met through a mutual friend. And Linda almost immediately started advising me, coaching me really, because, you know, they say that people are called into Mount Shasta, you know, called to be there for some reason or another. And I certainly was, you know, getting to a place of what we'd say is like rock bottom, you know, in terms of emotional crisis. And I think it was the beginning of going through a dark night of the soul. And, you know, that's really where your shadow self comes to the surface. And for me, it was coming to the surface, even in my work, it was coming to the surface in my drinking, it was coming to the surface in dysfunctional relationships. And so Linda was coaching me to end my drinking, and you know, that took a while, but it happened. And then it was from Mount Shasta where my cousin called me out of the blue and asked me to go to Peru with her in 2014. And so I'm now currently writing a book about that, about coming to Peru and healing. And I'm writing it with 10 other women, and we'll be publishing our book in December of 2022. But I would say that I've heard Mount Shasta is the root chakra of the world. And my shadow selves, the pieces of me that were like my wounded inner child, it was probably that I had a wounding in my root chakra. And I've heard that Mount Shasta is the root chakra of the world. And so going there was like a initiation process into a deeper aspect of healing. And then, of course, coming to Peru and going to the sacred sites, the mountains, is also activating. And it also serves as a catalyst to go deeper into that healing.
Yes, that's very good. That's very good. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And so, how long you been living in Peru?
So in 2014, when I came from Mount Shasta, it was really just for 1 week, right? And we went through the Sacred Valley on our way to Machu Picchu. And to me, the mountains, what they call apus here, they looked like row upon row of Mount Shastas to me. And so I recognized the healing energy and the power of the apus, and I knew I wanted to come back. But I think I had some other work to do back in the States. It wasn't until 2018 that I returned, and I lived in the Sacred Valley for a year. I'm sorry, I have a puppy and she's crying to come in. So yeah, I lived in the Sacred Valley for a year, and then came back to the States, went to graduate school, and then returned here in October of this year. And I actually came back with my 80-year-old mother, and we went to the Amazon. And that was a very healing experience to have my mother come. And so I've been living here since October.
Oh, wow. So almost a year, coming up to a year.
Well, and
That-
she's being very modest because when I first met her, she was a big consultant, and she's gotten these great jobs and was making great money. And then she was going to be part of Mount Shasta Bioregional Association, and she was supposed to sign a contract, and they kept putting the contract off. And so she was having to really, like the mountain does, go deeper inside of herself as to what do I really want? I was making this great money. I had these great clients. She was with Landmark. She was doing all kinds of progressive things. But at that point, when she left Mount Shasta, I remember she and I had dinner over at this, what was it? The Thai place. And she was talking about she's going to Washington, D.C. to do another big job. And I remember looking at her thinking, oh, well, this isn't done. And she's explaining, because from the time I met her, I've never said this to anybody until recently. I said, you're the type of client I want. And so we kind of started off on that, and we did running, and we did all kinds of strange things, working out together, going for walks, talking about our lives and doing it, which continued when she went to Peru the first time, and she was the manager of a retreat center. And now we're doing this workshop together and co-facilitating, because we both, for me, as in with you, I Ching, I prefer to do it with people that are on the same tribe, because I really feel strongly about that we're all gathering together, and it's really important time that we all share this experience, so that if we have a tag team and somebody doesn't relate to me, let's say, they'll relate to Jennifer or I Ching, so that we can get the maximum healing and also progression. It's really important part for all of us to jump off the diving board, even though at different moments we're hesitant, because we go, really, where are we going? I have people ask me that all the time. My answer is, I don't know. Because there's nothing written in cement that we know where we're going, and we have this fabulous affirmation and direction at this moment. I'm not saying it won't happen, but at the moment it hasn't.
Good. Well, when you were talking about Jennifer's career, previous career, kind of remind myself that because of Mount Shasta, the first trip I visited Mount Shasta was back in 2011, October. Within 6 months, I gave up my career, which I was also doing pretty good. I was a senior regional manager in the sushi company that managing the entire Florida stores. So yeah, so I think that's a power of the Mount Shasta, again, proven to be, like real life experience from people among like us, So that was very good that Linda, you mentioned about that. And today, I think I would like you to talk about more with your project, going to a Peru retreat, and perhaps maybe, give us a little bit like a guided meditation. So people, our friends here, that they can actually listen to it and actually, feel that, do the meditation with us here, and then they can actually feel it. I think that would be the better way and then the best way to make them realize that if they are getting called or if they're drawn to it or not.
Okay, why don't we have Jennifer go ahead and kind of give the description of when they arrive.
Yes.
And we start on Saturday. And then at the end, I'll do a little journey with my drum and go through the chakras, and we'll go up to the Temple of the Moon, which it's like a Panther Meadows. And we'll see what the message is for people. And I can do it fairly quickly. It doesn't have to be a long drawn out meditation. It's just very beneficial. And then we'll go to the fire and have the fire bless us, and then we'll come back.
Okay, great, wonderful. Thank you both.
And so I'm happy to do that. And Linda, I don't know if I should open with the Moon IQ rights.
Yeah, go ahead. That would be great. I just didn't think of it. Fabulous.
Yeah, because this is also, I Ching, it's also kind of a meditation. And so like you're saying, people can listen to that. Excuse me. So give me just a minute to pull that up, because you're saying people are going to listen and hear if they hear something for themselves in it. And one of the things that we'll introduce people to at the retreat is the Andean cosmology. And there's also we'll give people the Munai key rites, which is an initiation into becoming a person of wisdom and power. And it's based on the ancient cosmology of the Q'ero people, the traditional people here in Peru. But it was westernized by a man named Alberto Villodo and Villodo. And so yeah, one moment, I'll pull those up. And if people listening, and you, I Ching and Linda, if you can also get present to the 4 directions around you, like where's north, where's south, where's east, and where's west. And as I call out each direction, if you can raise your hand towards that direction. And hopefully my puppy will be quiet in a minute.
No, I think your puppy is a good add-on. So
I do
no
too.
worries.
I do too. I like it. Her name is Luna. And it's with this full moon coming up, how perfect.
Wow. I'm going to mute out for a second. I'm finding it distracting, but 1 second.
She heard you.
Yeah, she just got quiet. Okay, if you can drum, Linda.
Okay.
To the winds of the south, great serpent, wrap your coils of light around us. Teach us to shed the past the way you shed your skin, to walk softly on the earth. Teach us the beauty way. To the winds of the west, Mother Jaguar, protect our medicine space. Teach us the way of peace, to live impeccably. Show us the way beyond death. To the winds of the north, hummingbird, grandmothers and grandfathers, ancient ones, come and warm your hands by our fires. Whisper to us in the wind. We honor you who have come before us, and you who will come after us, our children's children. To the winds of the east, great eagle condor, come to us from the place of the rising sun. Keep us under your wing. Show us the mountains we only dare to dream of. Teach us to fly wing to wing with the Great Spirit. Mother Earth, we've gathered for the healing of all of your children, the stone people, the plant people, the 4-legged, the 2-legged, the creepy crawlers, the finned, the furred, and the winged ones. All our relations. Father, Son, Grandmother Moon, to the star nations. Great Spirit, you who are known by 1,000 names, and you who are the unnameable one. Thank you for bringing us together and allowing us to sing the song of life. Aho.
Oh,
Oh.
And so show us the mountains we only dare to dream of. I feel like when you're called to Mount Shasta or you're called to Peru, you're being showed the mountains that you only dare to dream of. And it works through you, it activates you. So our retreat is September 16th through the 26th. It's a 10-day retreat. We're calling it Moving Through It. And this is a technology that Linda uses in her coaching practice. And she was saying that when she was coaching me in Mount Shasta, we would go running, we would actually go to spin classes together, because it's not like we're going to transform and never have a problem again, right? So it's just that it's the process of moving through whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever your karma is in this lifetime, whatever your personal challenges are. And yeah, so that's why we're calling it Moving Through It. And the retreat includes guided conversations to move through it with Linda, visits to sacred sites such as the Temple of the Moon, the ruins outside of Pisac in the Sacred Valley, to Machu Picchu, visits to sacred mountains known as Apus. We'll go to Pachatusan, Asangate, and Apu Veronica. And I should say that a lot of times when people think of the sacred spiritual center of the world, they think of Nepal or Tibet. But actually, it kind of shifted here to Peru in the 1990s, and the Dalai Lama even came over and he went to Pachatusan. And now many people think that Asangate is the spiritual center of the world. Cusco, the city, is actually part of that. Cusco is often called the navel of the world. So like the spiritual power center. And I Ching, your beautiful design behind you reminds me of kind of like that idea of the navel of the world. You have the root chakra going, you have the sacral chakra in there with the orange, and then you also have the power chakra going. So it's kind of perfect, Linda, that we're going to end with going through the chakras. So yes, we'll go to these sacred sites. We'll participate in a number of sacred ceremonies, including a Caro Peruvian indigenous ceremony called a despacho. And we'll be doing that with a shaman named Vilma Pineda. And Vilma does a despacho ceremony, and it's this beautiful process of putting cocoa leaves together into a bundle of 3, and it's called a kintu bundle, and you bind it with llama fat, but you blow your prayers into these kintu leaves, and then you put it into this big bundle along with like flowers and candy and other ceremonial decorations. And at one point together we'll burn this despacho. But part of this retreat is, yes, saying prayers for ourselves and working on transformation in our own lives. But also, I feel that the world, of course, we all know, we've all been in COVID together, right? Which I feel like has been a very interesting sacred pause for the world. It's giving a lot of people a lot of time to reflect. But of course, there's still so much trauma happening externally in the world. And, you know, people have lost loved ones, they've been sick themselves, people have lost some jobs. And I'm not trying to be negative, you know, but we've all been dealing with a lot. But I think that we're coming out of that. We're coming out of that transformation. And now it's like, what kind of world do we want to create? And so coming to Peru is like a time for sacred ceremony, sacred healing, being in nature. We're going to offer people an opportunity to participate in flower baths, which is something really wonderful, near a retreat center that we'll be staying at. And I'll also give the 9 Munai key rites of initiation for each person to become a person of wisdom and power. And that really just works on each person energetically. And so that you're clearing your energetic system while you're here. We'll work with local guides to give talks at sacred sites like Machu Picchu and the Temple of the Moon and Pisac ruins. And we'll introduce people to the Indian cosmology of the serpent, puma, and the condor, which we started to address in the opening prayer that I gave, to heal the past, present, and the future. Of course, the serpent, the snake, is shedding the skin of the past. The puma is coming into your power in the present, and the condor teaches you to fly closer to Great Spirit. So We'll be staying in delightful places in the Sacred Valley in Cusco and at Aguas Calientes in Machu Picchu. And we'll have delicious Peruvian meals. There's really some wonderful Peruvian food for people to experience, prepared by local chefs, and then also at restaurants. And the retreat cost is $3,333 for 10 days. And that includes everything that I just went over. We'll pick people up at the airport. It includes all the transportation and hotels in Peru, most of the meals, and except if people go off on their own for some free time. And they'll want to bring extra money for sacred shopping here in Peru. Right, because there's a lot of fun things to buy here from the local.
They got great rattles and drums and all kinds of great capes and all kinds of great stuff.
Yes. And that's it. And if people want to contact me or Linda and learn more about the retreat, they can go to Linda Imheld at AO. No, that's your email. LindaImheld.com, right?
Right. My website.
That's her website. And then my website is Templo de la Luna. So I've named it in Spanish after Temple of the Moon. Templo de la Luna. .com. So that's it.
That's exciting. And Jennifer,
yes,
I love
that's very good.
Yeah, now I Ching can see the Runai Key rites and starting with that prayer. Very powerful stuff.
Yes.
And we'll be in ceremony most of the time. And also, like she's displaying, is that we will be personally involved, because as people, go through changes or hiking or whatever, different things, that's what I've learned through the years. People will get flashbacks and things will come up that they may or may not remember from this lifetime or even possibly other lifetimes there. The first time I was there, which was in 2018 when Jennifer was there, and it was the New Earth activation with one of Jennifer's friends. And I asked, I said, well, what does that mean? And they said, well, it's in the Sacred Valley is where this new activation is actually happening. And it was just a few of us. I mean, it wasn't like 100 people. There was 5 of us, and one from Bali, one from Sweden, us from the US, and I can't remember somewhere else. And it was just, it's kind of continued like that. And I kind of feel that that's what's happening with this for us, besides the prayers for the world and individually. I Ching, do you have any questions?
No, I think this is a very sacred trip that people you can get involved if you're really feeling the draw, if you're really feeling it from what we're talking about this, and then please do not hesitate to contact either Linda or Jennifer, because they are very powerful and they are very sincere coach or facilitator that I'd say that can really help you to give you some different insights. Because sometimes we're living our daily life, we kind of stuck on something. Sometimes we need something to kind of shift our focus. Then I think being a coach, a facilitator, Linda and Jennifer, they were able to provide that kind of service for you. So yeah. And then while Jennifer was doing this meditation, I feel the energy very strong coming down. So that was very wonderful. So our life, we're going through so many things in a different stage of our life. So, when we're talking about ascension, is not the end result, is the process that we are going through. But, you cannot just go to one, like a retreat, and then you want everything to be lifted off or everything to be, started over or brand new, that way you kind of lost the fun of going through all those processes. So ascension is not the end result that we're looking at. It's the life experiences that we are going through, and we're learning from our life lessons and moving up, moving forward, and moving through it.
That's right. Well, and Jennifer and I are already, for some of the people that have decided to come, we're doing Zooms and getting together so that people, if they have questions or need support or, just finding out where they're at. So we're open to that. It's not just that you have to show up, on the 16th. We can really do the preliminary and kind of, talk to you and your concerns or whatever that might be, because we're very open to that. It makes it easier.
And I Ching, I love what you said. And Linda and I talk about this all the time, that we're all a work in progress. And I think that we're all evolving. I think humanity may be at a big evolution point right now. And yes, we hear so much about ascension, and then we think that we're going to get to this place, of nirvana, and maybe we will. I mean, honestly, sometimes when I'm out here walking around the Temple of the Moon, there's horses and grasses and, hawks, and I sometimes feel like I'm actually in heaven, right? There's sometimes that experience. And then sometimes I'll wake up the next morning and, I'm back in my, wounding or my inner child and grumpy. And honestly, it's just using the tools that we have to go for a walk or journal or talk to someone. And we're all going through stuff. I think that's part of our process. And you said something really important about, even having fun, right? And so we don't want people to think that this retreat is like some heavy-handed, we're going to therapize you. No, no, we're going to hold space and we're going to have a lot of fun while we're at it. Going to these beautiful places in nature, there's opportunities to participate in plant medicine like San Pedro, or cacao, so drinking the delicious and, powerful cacao in ceremony are really great ways to open up. And like Linda said, not just to current life challenges, but the last time I was in a cacao ceremony, I actually saw myself as a Indian woman on her deathbed in India, very powerfully. And so, we carry all of our present life experiences, and I would say our past life experiences, energetically in our body. And so it's so important to move through it, whether it's through yoga or walking or, but also these initiations, these ceremonies, and these sacred sites will act on us energetically. And so, yeah, we're not going to come back from Peru like perfect and completely healed, but I think we'll, we can transform some things and like move into this place of power, because the world needs us all to be powerful right now.
Yes, I think Jennifer, she got a very good point for us. And then just made me think about, like, yesterday, I was feeling that I have to go take a walk in Palo Alto. And then I actually, on the way there, I saw two hawks, not at the same time, but they're flying through, while I was driving on the highway. And then because my spirit animal is a hawk, and so I can recognize them like when they show up in the sky. So and then yeah, but I think they go into those sacred sites on the earth that will help us to accelerate, because of using the energy coming out from the nature. That is actually very powerful, because through our Mount Shasta Journeys podcast that we've been talking about, sharing our Mount Shasta experience with our friends here. So Peru will be also another very powerful place that, it's a good place to go there and just actually having fun, just like Mount Shasta has the root chakra energy, but also the heart chakra energy, and then fun energy, relaxed energy, open heart energy. And I believe that Peru will be also providing this kind of energy, maybe a little bit slightly different in a way, but everybody has a different vibration and frequency. So they will connect with a different stage of their life. What needs to be addressed at that moment, then it will happen. And then it will open up for you, and you just need to surrender and then go with the flow, and you will enjoy, and then you will realize this transformation trip for you. It's one of the things that you have to go through in your lifetime.
Peru brings it up. I just want to tell one little story. The gal that I went with in the first time, Jennifer had sent a taxi for us, but we arrived early. So she wanted to jump in some taxi, and that was fine with me. I thought, okay, well, whatever you want to do. Well, the guy got lost, and she got more annoyed by the moment, because for me, getting lost is like my life is going to change, because I've gotten lost lots of times. And that usually, and the fact that she was getting more and more annoyed each moment, as a woman, I realized that, okay, we're in for it. Our lives will never be the same. And it was true. And eventually this guy asked some runner where the Niederlassee was, and so directed us there. So it wasn't a big deal. But I saw, because like I said, I've gotten lost lots of times wondering, what does this mean? What's happening? Why am I lost? And I saw this in another person, and all I could do, talking about laughing, I'm sure she wouldn't have thought it was funny if I was laughing at her, but I was, because I thought, okay, we're in for it. This is a happening thing. So, even the changes sometimes are kind of out of left field, and we kind of jumped at it, and there was nothing wrong with it. It's just that once we were lost, I went, okay, we're in for it. We've committed to this. And, that's kind of the way Peru is, and even Jennifer was mentioning these baths. These rose baths are like so exquisite. The room is exquisite. The bath is. So that gives you joy. It's not just heavy duty process. It's a beauty treatment and a fun thing, and laughing. Because the thing is, one thing that we all can do, I Ching and Jennifer and I, we can laugh at ourselves. We're on this spiritual road, and we're really silly people, and made some very silly choices and some very good choices. But on the other hand, we have to really laugh, and so that, we all feel at one. We're all human, right? I think so.
Yes.
We're all human, and I think we're here to learn from each other, and we mirror each other, and and so I Ching said something also important about, yes, about fun, but he also said surrender. And that's a big part of the process, is surrendering. And, Linda and I are there to set up things so that people don't have to worry about trying to find a cab, or, what hotel are you going to stay at, or what sacred site should you go to? We're going to organize all of that so that you really can just relax into the experience and enjoying the beauty. But like Linda always says, that this is part of the journey, meaning the shamanic journey, really. The transformational journey is buying your airline ticket, getting on the flight, dealing with COVID tests. And all of these may seem like barriers, but you can move through all of it. And like Linda and I will be here to coach you through all of that, or just support you through all of it.
And have you feel safe. Safety is a big thing, so that you can have that joy and have that stuff, so that you feel that we're backing you up. And I Ching is going to be in Cupertino helping us and working with us. We'll have a team of people that may not be on the trip with us, but people that will be concerned about your journey. Because when we go on something like this, we have great backup of people who would like to have gone, but it's not the right time. But they will be saying prayers for us and really holding us in the highest esteem and light, that we have the best time we can.
And we'll have a team of people on this side also supporting. Right. We'll have people organizing delicious meals, people taking us on hikes, people telling us about sacred sites, a team of drivers, so.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, somebody said to me, they said, well, I guess you have to go to Peru. You said it yesterday. It's like, okay, you had to go to Mount Shasta and now you have to go back to Peru, and it made me laugh because it's like, you never know, where spirit is going to push you, and it's like, I didn't feel like it was a have to, but it was a want to, because I knew I wasn't done, and like Jennifer's there for this length of time, putting down the medicine. And one of the things I want to say before we do the journey is Jennifer has gone up to the Temple of the Moon, preparing and doing ceremony, preparing for all of us to come. That's where my last place of ceremony was when I left in 2019 in December. So she's been preparing the land and opening the door, not only with all the people there telling of who were coming and all that, but she's actually working the land. And I Ching and I are working in Mount Shasta, and he's having these podcasts to support it. I mean, so that he knows that we're doing good work and he wants to be a part of it. And he has his own work. He has brought all kinds of people from China, and he's going to bring more because people relate to him and feel his, again, safety and security in him. So that's why we're doing this. It's not for our ego or how we're going to be the ascended masters or, whatever it is. The new word in Mount Shasta is, I'm a galactic teacher. I don't know what that means, but whatever it is, we're doing the best we can, being very human and supporting and loving people. That's as simple as it is.
Yes, Linda was talking about the podcast again. Actually, a couple of days ago, I was doing another episode with a Ray's friend in Sedona, Natalia. It's going to come out tomorrow. That was also an interview, So actually, during that process, it actually made me realize one of the things that Mount Shasta Ray want me to see was that, and I saw that a couple of days ago when I was doing that episode, is that they want me to recognize myself more, how I have been through, walking away from my career, just start taking the people to Mount Shasta, Sedona, those kind of thing. And then now I came back to a business field to connect more people. It's all in divine order. I follow the direction from the Mount Shasta. But in Asian culture, Oriental culture, that we tend not to recognize ourselves because of our culture, our education, our society background. But that's one thing they want me to see, and I did a couple of days ago, and just to recognize myself, how much I walked through in my life, just the past about 11 years, since the first time to Mount Shasta. And another thing I want to share here with us is that right after Ray passed, I connect with one of Ray's friend, and then he actually told me something. Ray wanted him to tell me something through him, so he told me, he said, I'm going to presume the leadership more. Okay, back then I didn't know what that means, because when we talk about leadership, we're thinking about, okay, we're going to lead a group of people, But then recently I actually realized that, and I think this is very important. I want to share with our friends here is that presume your leadership is that taking in charge of your own life.
Right.
That's the leadership we're talking about. Not necessarily you have to lead a group of people or a group of followers, but is that taking in control or taking the responsibility of your own life first, and starting from there, then you move forward. Then you can influence more people because of your life experiences, or because of the energy that you share with them. That'll be wonderful. But presume the leadership is that, taking the responsibility of your own life first.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it's not like Linda and I are trying to lead anybody on anything except to be leaders in their own lives. And just to be supportive and hold the container, the safe container for people to, if they want to, process and heal, and also transform and grow and develop and have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
thank you, I Ching. I'm glad you said that, because I see it, wherever he goes and I'm with him, I don't know how to say it, but he's recognizable in his power. He's just schlepping along, doing his thing. We're walking at the headwaters and looking at trees. And then this forest guy comes up and proceeds to tell him which is the largest tree at the headwaters. And I come to laugh because he is already hugging that tree before. And I said, oh, he already knows what tree that is. But he was recognizable by the Forest Service guy, saying, I know this guy and I want to talk to him. And he was very humble. And that's the Chinese thing, be humble, don't make a scene of yourself. And you weren't. But the guy recognized you, that you were somebody of power and somebody worth talking to. And it was important to talk to about trees. You weren't talking about galactic or ascension. You were talking about tree.
Yeah. Yes.
Simplicity of it all,
Yeah. And and I think our Mother Earth is moving up to a higher dimension, as well as our humanity consciousness. And how we can tell that is because if you pay attention in your daily life, you can actually see a lot of synchronicity happening everywhere. So that's one of the evidence that we can tell that our consciousness is moving up, is moving up to a higher dimension and frequency.
Yeah, and I think part of that process, at least what I've heard, is coming to terms with our own shadow selves. Whether it's for me, whether it's drinking or being insecure and not feeling lovable, recognizing and incorporating those shadow selves is a part of, I think, moving into higher consciousness. And I think we're seeing it on the world stage, with elected officials or business leaders who are, their shadows are coming out, like the Me Too movement, where all of our shadows are coming to the surface, and it's something that we have to grapple with. But I think that we can transcend it by becoming leaders of our own lives and being responsible, like you were saying earlier, but then collectively, how can we come together and be responsible and deal with things like climate change or, pollution, where women are held back in the workforce, the Me Too movement, Roe versus Wade. I mean, there's just the gun violence, right? There's a lot for us to address as, a collective, as well as individually being responsible in our own lives. And we have to feel like we're capable and powerful of doing that. And we are.
Yes.
We all have to be activists on some level. Whatever the calling is, you have to say no to AR-15s or yes to women's rights, or whatever it is, and be willing to do that. Because the people that are alive now, that's sort of, it's like people will say to me, ask me a question about what do you think, and I said, your job is to hold the light right now and to keep the positivity that the world needs. If you can do that, we can achieve great things, because we can all do what we came here to do.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that's very wonderful.
So Linda, do you want to lead us into like a closing meditation?
We'll do it fairly quickly. And what we're going to do is use the golden light that's behind I Ching. We're going to connect to Mother Earth and just feel the gold and have it going around our ankles and going up our lower legs, grounded in Mother Earth and raising our vibration and just feeling the gold. It's sort of like an elixir moving through our body, going around our knees, going up our upper thighs, going up into our root chakra, all of the things that we talk about, our root chakra, our childhood, all of our grievances, and how important it is to really come to terms with that, and seeing the root chakra as bright red, and just seeing it like a spinning top of red, and really feeling that everything is really good and okay. And then having the golden light going across your buttocks, raising your vibration, protection, again, from the tip of our toes all the way up into your second chakra, your sacral chakra, that sexual energy and the power of abundance and creation, where we can create babies, we can create new lives, and really understand that that orange is how we manifest, not just in sexuality, but how we manifest our dreams, and the importance of being clear on our intentions and moving forward, and not really expounding that energy silly, just really understanding really the importance of who we are as human beings. And then I get around your waist, feeling the golden light, raising our vibration and going up our back, and clearing any kind of discrepancy where people may have gossiped about us or thought about us, just clearing that and raising the vibration and going into our solar plexus, the gold, just like the sun, and really understanding the power of what we're talking about, our own empowerment, and how we as individual people can support other people's empowerment. And sometimes with our power center, sometimes it's okay not to shine your light too bright, because sometimes that intimidates people. So sometimes it's just important to be who you are and really be comfortable in that. And then moving up into our heart chakra, seeing the Kelly green. And what the heart chakra, as we've been going through this pandemic, is really learning to love ourselves, and really understanding the more that we can love that shadow and those silly things we've done, the more we can be empathetic and be that person of service and really feel it in other people. Such an important time to love yourself, that Kelly green. And then going up across your shoulders into your throat chakra. Now, this is a tricky one these last, I don't know, say 2 years, the pandemic. The importance of having clear communication and really being direct and kind, and just really it's an important time to be a communicator. There's also another part about our throat chakra, that if it's not appropriate, what I find myself saying a lot is don't talk. So if it's not somebody that's receptive, we don't need to get in arguments, we don't need to push the envelope, and just be secure in our throat chakra, knowing that when the time is right to be that clear communicator, we are, I-Ching, Jennifer, and I are completely capable of doing that. And that's the important time. And then taking the golden light, going across your shoulders, down your upper arms, around your elbows, into your forearms. And everything that you touch in this golden light is blessed. And you are in a golden light of protection from the tip of your toes all the way to your fingertips. And then feeling that golden light through your whole body, your chakras balanced, and then going up to your crown chakra, your violet flame, and connecting. What we've been talking about is the angels, the star people, the brotherhood, Melchizedek, Ray, Lillian, all of those people that are influencing our life and really understanding our crown chakra, that we are meant to have this communication with these ascended beings. And so that we can do our best work and our clearest work. And then going over the top of your head to your third eye, and seeing the royal blue. And seeing that too, in the last 2 years, we are all seeing the world very differently, in the sense of we're seeing the things as the discrepancy of how people really are. And I'm constantly going, did I see that? Is that what's happening? Our clarity of vision is very different than it was 2 years ago before the pandemic. So really trust who you're seeing. And if you're getting that vision of like, hold off, don't move forward, just talk to a dear friend and find out if that is really what you are seeing. And you don't have to be critical of it, because I'm sometimes critical of myself going, did I see that? That's really kind of mean and nasty. But the truth is we are seeing the world as it really is. And it's really important. So in front of us, as we see ourselves in the golden light, raising our vibration, we have 5 stairs, and we're going to go up to that special place. It can be the Panther Meadows. It can be the Temple of the Moon, and starting up and seeing yourself as you're in this golden light, going up. 1, we're going to go up and see what our messages are. 2, going up in our golden light, 3, 4. It's funny that bell's ringing. 4 and 5. The universe is supporting us as we go off into Panther Meadows or Temple of the Moon. And we're going to look around, and we have some pretty divine people there. We have Wayne Dyer, Ram Dass, Charlie Tong, Ray, Lillian. Just look around, and the fire is at the end of the meadow. And we'll go to that and see what message, if either one of you have a message that you want to share with people. Just get the message of moving through it. Don't be afraid of the intimacy that we're achieving. It's really our divine right and where we're supposed to be, even with some of the people we had least expected or people that we didn't expect. And just support people as we go through that. Love them, be kind to them. We have Buffalo Woman here. Power of the Women. Several medicine people that I know who have passed on really are supporting all of our work. I Ching's, Jennifer's, mine. And they're just saying to us that this is important. So if anybody is watching this and really feeling it and having that communication, don't be surprised from the other side that you're going to be contacted by unforeseen messengers, maybe native, maybe angels, Melchizedek, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Muriel, Raphael. So Jennifer, do you have any message?
No, just only I was getting present to Kuan Yin also being in the room. And,
Oh, good.
and one of the things I've learned about from a friend and teacher here is just the most important thing that we can do as humans is practice loving kindness for ourselves and for each other. So I was just getting a message of, you know, we're all really one, we're all really each other, and just to practice being kind to ourselves and to each other.
Oh, wow. Jing, you have anything you'd like to share? Message you're getting?
Well, I just want to mention DK Master Jakuo was also present. And because he's also holding the 7 rays of a sacred flame.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's go down to the fire. When I say down, it's just at the end of the field. We're not going downhill. We're right in the beautiful, powerful area. And we're going to stand in front of the fire. We're going to feel the power and the strength of the fire. And the important part is what we've displayed in our podcast today is the vulnerability and the intimacy that we're sharing as humans, and really feeling that power of the fire, because that's where the true power is. We can all act like warriors and this and that, but really that tenderness and that kindness is really where we relate to each other. So just take that fire in and feel the power and the strength of it and the vulnerability of the importance of being human. Oh, Homotakiasan. Now starting back from 5, feeling refreshed, remembering, 4, coming back in, 3, 2, and 1.
Oh, thank you, Linda.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, me too. Thank you.
I Ching, thank you for the conversation. Linda, thank you so much.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I will put up Jennifer your information on the description of this episode, and you know, of course, I have Linda's, so I will put them on. And yeah, before we close out today, I would like to let our friends know that Linda and Jennifer, they just offer that, you know, you don't really have to decide if you want to go right now or not, you are welcome to join their Zoom, because I think that will give you a very good opportunity to experience, to find out that, more depth about this retreat, and in order for you to make a decision for yourself. I think
Well, I
that's
think it's
very good.
smart. I agree with you. I don't think you should just jump off with people in this journey. I think it's important to feel that safety net in getting to know the people you're traveling with, because it is very intimate as much as it's fun.
Yes. So yeah, we will put out the information about your Zoom calendar as well. So please just feel free to communicate with Linda or Jennifer. I mean, they're willing to help. I think so that way we can get the best out of this. Okay.
Thank you so much. Okie dokie, everybody. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Linda and Jennifer again, and then we will see you next time. Thank you.
Goodbye, gracias.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. It was in a different place. Oop. Okay.
Yeah, my whole body is so feeling like so warm, Yeah.
That was fun. That was really good. We did a
Yeah,
whole process. Thank you so much, I Ching.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Linda, I love that meditation at the end. And I Ching, I just love everything that you brought to the conversation. Thank you so much for your support and your generosity. Really appreciate it.
And his wisdom. Yeah.
Your wisdom.
Yep. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. And we'll talk soon.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
I'll send you the recording.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.